I was going to say good morning. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well on today. Thank you so much for joining me for this live stream. I am excited about what the Lord is doing. Wait, did it start yet? I can't tell. Okay, it just froze. It just froze up on me. Is it on? Looks like it's on. Okay. Um, Thank you so much for joining me this evening with this live stream. Could have been anywhere else, but you are here tonight. And I want to make sure that I honor your time. The business owner in me will not allow me to devalue or waste any second that you give me. So I'm going to make sure that this is impactful, it means something to you, and it adds value to you. So if you haven't met before, if you're new to this channel or to this page, my name is Nathan Wiggins, and I've named both my YouTube page and my Facebook page Nathan Wiggins, Disciple of Jesus Christ. And quite simply put, my goal and my agenda is to, or let me rephrase that. The purpose of this channel and this page is to create, grow, and sustain disciples of Jesus Christ. And I'm going to do that by using the topic of surrendering to Jesus Christ to help do that. And so, Jessica, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you coming on today. I got two hearts. Man, I feel special. And so I'm just thankful for that. But the purpose of this channel is just to create, grow, and sustain disciples of Jesus Christ. And so if you are new or you're looking for, if this seems like something in your area or your arena, I hope that this is able to add value to you and to encourage you. Tonight, my agenda is pretty clear. I have four things that I'm going to try to do. The first thing I'm going to try to do is to kind of just summarize 2020 and all that it has been. But then, second, I'm going to just talk about we can't control the things that happen in our lives, good or bad. The events will come, but what we can control is our choices. And so we're going to focus on what choices we can make in 2021. And so the third part is just us talking about those choices that we can make in 2021 to ensure that we have a great 2021. And then lastly, I am going to, or I have a giveaway we're going to be doing. I want to make sure that I am investing in and I am honoring the people who have either subscribed or the people who have liked a page of mine. And so that means a lot to me. I'm very appreciative and I'm very thankful for that. So there's going to be a giveaway at the very, very end of this live stream. And it's just going to be honoring those. I have learned that it is better to um, enjoy and invest in what you have than trying to chase after what you don't have. Because trying to chase after what you don't have, you end up losing what you do have. And so I don't want to have it to where I am so caught up in chasing things and I'm making sure that I'm investing in the people who are right in front of me. And so, yeah, that's our agenda for today. But before we get started, I have a question. And the question, pretty simple. It is, what are you leaving behind in 2020? What is it that you're leaving behind in 2020? Want to know. Um, I want to know what you are leaving behind in 2020 um, that you don't need to bring back. Maybe it's depression, maybe it's drama, maybe it's foolishness. Who knows what it could be? Whatever it is, whatever you're leaving behind, and whatever you're leaving behind, just write it down in the comment section. And as I do that, I am going to go to my own page, and I'm going to make sure I hit the share button. So if you will, just go ahead and share it as well, and let the Lord take this wherever He can take it, or He wants to take it. Bada bing, bada boom. So I just shared it myself. What are you leaving behind in 2020? Don't want to bring it into 2021. It will only hinder you or make things worse. So that being said, let's just jump right into it. The topic of this video is 3 ways to have a great 2021. 3 ways to have a great 2021. Now, if we look back at 2020, there's a lot we can say about it, and there's a lot that has been said about it, whether it be the drama that we've seen through all the racial injustice and the just racial tensions that have arisen. We could talk about the political uncertainty. We could talk about all the challenges and obstacles that we faced, either as a business owner or as a husband or a father. We can talk about all the different losses that we've had, whether it be financial losses, whether it is um, business losses. It could be you lost a loved one or a family member. You lost opportunities that you thought you might have had. You lost events, vacations, whatever it may be. There's a lot that has happened in 2020. Some good, but if you're like me, you've seen a lot of bad as well. And so the temptation is to assume that just because the year goes from 2020 to 2021, that things will get better. If if we just went from 2020 to 2021, things will look different. And the challenge with that is the reality that we all face. The calendar isn't the problem. The year isn't the problem. What has happened in the year, or better yet, the events in the year, are our challenge. They are the real obstacle, not the year itself. So, what we have to do is we have to find a way to not focus so much on the year and focus on what can I control in my sphere of influence to actually influence what's going on around me. If I put it another way, I would just say you can't control the events that come into your life. Events are going to happen. Death, life, all kinds of things will happen to us. We can't control our outcomes. We can only influence them. So if we could control our outcomes, then all of us would be at a different point and a different place in our lives right now. Be that as it may, we can't control our outcomes. The only thing we can truly control is our choices, how we respond to the events in our lives. And so, what I want to focus on is I want to focus on what we can do or what choices we can make in 2021 to make it a great year. And so, the choices that we can make, they're going to focus around one thing, one theme for me. And in order to talk about that theme, I want to go to Luke chapter 16. And this is important because I'm talking about having a great 2021. And I'm not going to define greatness as it is financially. I'm not going to define it in terms of how great my business may do. I want to read this passage and then I'm going to explain to you how this explains how we can have a great 2021. Luke chapter 16, verse 1 says, Jesus told his disciples, there was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. So he called him in and asked him, what is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management because you cannot be manager any longer. The manager said to himself, what shall I do now? My master is taking away my job. I'm not strong enough to dig. I'm ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do. When I lose my job here, people will welcome me into their houses. And so he called each one of his master's debtors. He asked the first, how much do you owe your master? 900 gallons of olive oil, he said. The manager told him, take your bill, sit down quickly, and make it 450. He asked the second, how much do you owe my master? 1,000 bushels of wheat, he replied. He told him, take your bill and make it 800. The master commended the dishonest manager because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than are the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourself, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. Now, the reason why I bring this passage up is because this passage gives us a lot of insight into how we should use money. The shrewd manager in this passage used money as a tool. It was just that. It was a tool for gaining friends. When push came to shove, when something bad was really happening in his life, he did not focus on money. He focused on the relationships. What am I saying? I'm saying that when push comes to shove, we all know intuitively that although money is important, what's more important are the relationships. And so in 2021, to be great, we need to focus on relationships. Business matters, money matters, all these different things matter. But these are the cherry on top of the foundation that we're going to set in relationships. Your business will only succeed if you have good relationships with you, your personnel, and your clientele. Your family will only succeed if you've got good family dynamics, which is built through relationship. And so we are going to focus on relationships in 2021. If we can be great in relationships, well, we can be great in um, everything that matters and everything worthwhile. If we use relationships as our foundation, we can truly, truly thrive. I love how Khadijah said that she is leaving behind depression. Not depression. I read that so wrong. She's leaving behind discontentment. Go ahead. It don't belong at all. I thought you could display this. Maybe you can't. Oh well. I thought you could. Anyway, I see that leaving behind discontentment. So that being said, let's focus on what can we do to improve or have a great 2021. It's going to be focusing on relationships. So the next question I want to open up is this: what are some choices you plan on making to have a great 2021? So I know that we're leaving drama, depression. I saw that, Jessica. We're leaving behind drama and depression. We're also leaving behind discontentment. But let's not just focus on that. What can we bring into 2021 to make it great? So I'm going to be sharing a couple of things that I believe we can do. But maybe you all have some better ideas than me. So that being said, we want to look at three areas in which we can make 2021 great. And really, we're going to focus on three different relationships. The first relationship we're going to focus on is the relationship we have with ourselves. The second relationship is the relationship that we have with others. And the third thing we're going to focus on is our relationship with God. If we can grow in these three areas, then our life will be full of life, productivity, and value. So, what choice do we need to make in order to have a great 2021 focusing on ourselves? Well, when it comes to ourselves, we need to choose self awareness. Now, what is self awareness? Well, self awareness is knowing who you are, what you do, and why you do it. Self awareness is knowing who you are, what you do, and why you do it. If you focus on that, the results can be powerful. And I want to use this passage from Jesus to give us an example of self awareness. John chapter 8, verse 12, it says, "When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, 'I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life.'" You'll never walk in darkness, but have the light of life. If you saw somebody on the street corner saying that I am the light of the world, whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but have the light of life, what would you think about that person? You would think that they do not have it all together. You think something's wrong with them. Be that as it may, Jesus was 100% confident in not only who he was, but what he was called to do. In essence, Jesus was completely self aware. No one could knock him off of who he was. No one could tell him not to do what he was doing because he knew what he was called to do. Now, if we apply that to our lives, what would self awareness produce for us and in us? Self awareness would mean that we could be confident, have the complete confidence of who we are. And with that same confidence, we could know what we were called to do and why we were doing it. And so Jesus knew that his death was going to be on the cross. But for us, do we have the confidence or the self-awareness to really know what our purpose is in this life? And not only that, our purpose, but what we need to do to fulfill our purpose. And so that's what self-awareness will do. But we're also broken, sinful people. So not only do we have to focus on what our capacity for greatness is, we also have to focus on what our capacity for destruction and chaos is, and self-deception. And so self-awareness will allow us, it will give us insight into not only our potential, but also our stumbling blocks. There's a great quote that I had earlier on my page. It says that no one enjoys being cross examined or accused of having something wrong in their lives. But as we grow as Christians, we come to the painful recognition that we have an almost unlimited capacity for self deception. Now, there's more to that quote than that, but imagine having an unlimited capacity for self deception. You and I have both said in our lives things that we would never do, yet we did them. You and I have all done things in our lives that we're not proud of. And the only reason we got to that place is because we deceived ourselves into thinking that we were doing something good. If we were or had the ability to get rid of our self-deceiving ways, how much productive and how much more loving could we be to not only ourselves but to those around us? Self-awareness is the mechanism through which we can truly understand both our good and our bad. So, how do we grow in self-awareness? Not only recognizing our potential, but recognizing and avoiding our self-deceiving ways. It's two ways we can grow in self-awareness. Number one is we can read our word. When we read the Bible, we can grow in self-awareness. But don't read it to don't just read it for consumption. Put yourself in the stories of the people in the Bible and pray to God that He gives you wisdom about what you're reading. And as you read that, you will come to a realization that, man, this is me too. I'm not who I could be or who I should be. Um, and as you do that, you'll be more self aware. But not only looking at um, the Bible for its value, another way you can be more self aware is by engaging in and choosing true and honest community. What do I mean by true and honest? What's up, Jasper? I see your comment. You will be surrounded by people who you will give permission to let you know when you're screwing up. Don't surround yourself with people who won't tell you how bad you're doing or the bad things you're doing. Don't surround yourself with people who won't do that. Give the people around you, maybe not everybody, but certain people permission to say, "Hey, I'm not." I'll put it this way: "Hey, please let me know when I'm doing something wrong." I see Jasper, I see Kadaja on here. Both of them have permission to say, "Nathan, you tripping, bro? That's not right. That ain't God. That ain't Jesus." They've got complete authority in my life to do that, and them doing that keeps me self-aware. I'm too self-deceived sometimes to see my own issues. And so I know that with a good community and reading my word, I'll grow in self-awareness. Number two, what else we can do to grow or have a great 2021? The first relationship we focused on was self-awareness. The second relationship that we're going to focus on is our relationship with other people. What can we do to improve, or what choice can we make to improve relationships with other people in 2021? We can choose to be present and available. So, in your relationships with others, choose to be present and available. Nick Saban likes to say, be where your feet are. It is very easy for me when I'm with somebody to not be with them, to be on the football game, to be my next meeting, to not even really want to be there. I'm just fulfilling my fatherly duty. But that diminishes the value of the people right in front of you. If we choose to be present and available, then we'll have to make some choices, or some necessary a necessary byproduct of that is this: we won't treat people like tools or utility, meaning that I'm just using you to get to where I need to go to. We're not going to treat people like projects. Man, like, look at this person right here. Let me see how much I can improve them, how I can work on them, how they can be who I want them to be. Bad. We're also not going to look at people like insignificant obligations. Like, I'm only right here right now because I gotta be. Like those college classes we had to take but we didn't want to. I'm only right here right now because I have to be. That doesn't help anyone. If we choose to be present and available, we've got to do two things. We've got to first remember that people are made in the image of God. So they are worthy of honor, dignity, and respect. Number two, if we choose to be present and available, we have to remember that everybody we're in front of is our neighbor. And the second greatest commandment is to love our neighbors as ourselves. When we are in the presence of somebody else, whether it be brother, sister, spouse, children, co-worker, if we're present and available, we're going to treat them with not only dignity and honor, but we're going to love them enough to actually be there for them, give them our attention, and care about them in this way. And if we do this, our relationships will grow and improve and get better. Finally, the last relationship that we've got to focus on is our relationship with God. So, what choice do we need to make in 2021 to grow our relationship with God? If you know me, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. We've got to choose to surrender. Romans chapter 11, verse 36, I'm going to pull it up really quickly. It says, "For from him and through him and for him all are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen." Simply put, we come from God, meaning that he created us. We are sustained by God. We exist through him. And our ultimate end goal is for us to be with God again. We're going to go back to be with him. When we don't surrender to God, we ignore his plan for our lives. We choose to be sustained some other way in some other form, and we neglect our own destinies. And so when we neglect our own purpose, what we're created to do, we go out and do something other than what God called us to do. When we neglect God's sustaining capabilities, we will try to be sustained in any way other than what God has for us, whether that be our sexual relationships, whether that be our monetary relationships. It doesn't matter. We're going to just be sustained another way. And then lastly, we neglect that he is our ultimate goal, that we're going to end up being, we have the opportunity to be in heaven with him one day. We neglect that and we just settle for living for the moment instead of living to be with him. All that being said, our goal should be to surrender to our creator, our sustainer, and our goal. How do we do that? Well, Luke 9:23 says, "Then he said to them all," Jesus, "whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross daily, and follow me." All that simply means is that we need to make sure that we deny our agenda when it conflicts with Jesus' agenda. That every single day we pick up our cross. Our cross is just our mission for living, our reason for living. It's the suffering that comes with our mission and reason for living. We pick up our cross. We put down our agenda, pick up our cross, and we follow Jesus wherever he goes. And we go to him wherever he wants us to go. If we do this, we will have life. And this is important because Jesus said that I am the true vine. That means that there are false vines out there. There are counterfeit vines out there. And so you will produce something, but it's not fruit that will last, and it's not fruit that will have any true impact in this world. As a follower of Jesus Christ, you cling to and you abide in the vine. And when you do that, you see nothing but life. The Bible is filled with images of growth in everything that we do, from the garden to the true vine to Galatians 5, the fruit of the Spirit. And so when we choose to walk in God, we are choosing to walk in life. And when we ignore God, we ignore his life-giving potential, and we'll see death and separation in everything that we face. So those are the three areas that we can grow in, the three things we can do, the three choices we can make to have a great 2021. Our great 2021 will be one in which relationships are paramount. It's one in which we have self awareness in and of ourselves, one in which we are present and available for the relationships around us. And then it's one in which we surrender to God every single day with every single breath that we have. And so I promised a giveaway. I have one question. I just want to see somebody answer it. The question is, what is the purpose of this page and how will it be fulfilled? I'm already going to give you the cheat, make it simple on you. The answer to this question is found in the description of either this video or the page. So the first person who copies and pastes the um, um, answer into the question box or into the comment section, you will get the prize. And so as soon as I see that, boom, somebody is going to win the prize. And I'll tell you what the prize is as soon as somebody wins. And so that being said, I'll wrap up by saying we need to ensure or we need to focus on relationships this year. I am a business. I have had businesses in the past. I'm kind of working on some different business ventures now, but ultimately, those business ventures live and die with the quality of relationships that we have. And so, if we work on and improve our relationships, by necessity, we will have the opportunity to have better business. Not by necessity, by default. Better relationships usually equate to better sales. It usually equates to better family dynamics. It equates to better enjoyment in this life. And now, even when I say better relationships, I don't mean relationships in which there's no conflict. A great relationship is a relationship that there is conflict, but you're able to overcome it. The poor relationships have conflict, and the conflict consumes them. And so we don't want that to be our legacy. Broken relationships, internally, externally, and ultimately with God. Again, what is the purpose of this page and how will that purpose be fulfilled? If you've got the answer, let me see it in the comment section or let me see it in the question box. The answer is found in the description. So that being said, I want to close out by just giving you a couple of ideas, a couple of things that will be happening in the new year with this page. So you've seen this live. I'll probably be going live, not probably, more than likely, I'll be going live every other week. And so this week I went live. Next week I'll be going live. Not live, I'll do a regular video. And so one week I'll do a live video, and then the next week I'll do a regular video. And so that'll be kind of the flow from now on. I'm going to be focusing on the people who have subscribed and the people who um, have decided to like the page, and I'm going to make sure I invest in who the Lord has already blessed to be in my sphere of influence. What's up, Chris? I see you. Appreciate the hand clap, man. I'm going to make sure that I invest in and so I'm going to find ways to invest in the people around me. I'm going to find ways to do that. And so that's just a little bit of insight of the flow and what I expect to happen next year. Who knows? I'm still working through it, still trying to figure it out. I believe the Lord has called me to do this, so I'm going to try to do it to the best of my abilities. Who knows what growth will look like? Who knows all those different things? But I'm excited. So far, nobody has answered at all. I tell you what, I'm going to go. I promised to be 15 to 25 minutes. I'm already over that time. I'm going to go ahead and end. But if you're seeing this video, watching this video, whoever's the first person to comment on this video with the answer, what is the purpose of this page and how will that purpose be fulfilled? As soon as I see that comment, I'm going to tell you what the prize is, and I'm going to make sure you get that prize. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I appreciate all the time. We're going to have a great 2021 if we focus on relationships. not focusing on our health, not focusing on how much money we make. All those things are good. We influence them. If we focus, I don't want to say not focusing on your health, but regardless of what your health turns out to be, regardless of how the pandemic will be, regardless of all the different external factors, if we make these choices, focusing on our self awareness, focusing on being present with other people, and focusing on surrender to God, you'll always have an opportunity to win, focusing on those three areas. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I pray you all have a blessed night. Bye bye.